Are there any good news stories about maritime disasters? The greatest fear for me, a sailor, is going down with my ship. It's a death sentence. Trapped below deck as the ship goes down, a complete nightmare. There's only been one really good news story like this. Harrison Okene, a Nigerian sailor, was working in the kitchen of the tugboat Jackson 4 when he had an urge to visit the head or the toilet. That move may have saved his life. Hi, I'm Alan Stokel, and this is World's Worst Maritime Disasters, the channel that tells tales of disasters at sea. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and click the bell to receive notification when we post the next video. The tug was pulling a tanker when the disaster happened. The vessel overturned after being battered by heavy seas in May 26 of 2013, about 12 miles or 20 kilometers off the Nigerian coast. Harrison survived for almost 3 days underwater by crouching in an air pocket after the capsize. 11 other crew members died as the vessel sank. It was around 5 a.m. and I was going to the toilet when the vessel just started going down. The speed was so fast, Okene said. He wasn't able to get to an emergency exit or a hatch and watched in horror as other crew members were sucked into the stormy seas as the vessel sank. The boat sank to the bottom, a depth of about 30 meters or 100 feet. Harrison prayed as the water slowly seeped into about a 1 meter square air pocket in the toilet. It was pitch dark. Later, he was quoted as saying, "I was so hungry and thirsty and cold, and I was just praying to see some kind of light." It was almost 60 hours later when he heard a hammering noise. Divers from South Africa were at the wreck on a body recovery operation and were shocked to hear a faint hammering on the hull. As a diver's light approached, Okene hesitated to swim out of the air pocket in case he startled the diver. "I went to the water and touched the diver. He himself shivered from fear, so I stepped back and just held my hand in the water and waved it in front of the camera so they would see the image above deck." Now, Paul McDonald, an officer on the support vessel who was watching the monitor, wrote in his Facebook page, "How it wasn't full of water is anyone's guess. I would say someone was looking after him." Once Harrison had been located, there were a few problems involved with extricating him from the wreck. He had been in 100 feet of water for more than 2 days, and if rescuers brought him to the surface, he would almost certainly die of the bends, or decompression sickness, also called DCS, and known as diver's disease or Casson disease. It's a condition brought on from dissolved gases in the blood coming out of solution, forming bubbles inside the body when a diver comes to the surface after a deep dive. According to Wikipedia, since bubbles can form in or migrate to any part of the body, DCS can provide many symptoms, and its effects may vary from joint pain and rashes to paralysis and death. If Harrison panicked and tried to rush for the surface during their rescue, his body would have absorbed potentially fatal amounts of nitrogen. His heart wouldn't have been able to pump because it would just be so full of gas. To prevent this, Okene was strapped onto a diving equipment and moved to a diving bell, which took him to the surface. He then spent 2 days in a decompression chamber. Okene said, "They told me that all the others had died, and I cried because I thought I was the only one who had been trapped in the boat." Once back on land, he credited his recovery to the daily helpings of his favorite manga soup, a type of palm fruit soup made with fish from the southern Nigerian neighborhood. Now, it's been reported that the reason the death toll was so high on that vessel was that the crew had agreed to be locked into their rooms for fear of pirates. I hope you found this video informative. When you subscribe, you will be notified of the next video as we post it. Now, by the way, I've also started a Patreon account to help with the expenses of running a channel like this. You can donate as little as $1 a month, and any amount goes a long way. Everyone who donates will receive a credit on our future videos as well as gifts. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Alan Stokel.